We've just completed looking at how Barack Obama, as he predicted, would attack America's foundations, raised to attack foundations like his father did. We've looked at how he attacked the constitutional foundation. Now we look at other major foundations. Let's take the economy, and let's look what he said in his inauguration speech. The superintelligence can look ahead and predict. It knows where things are headed. Listen to his inauguration speech, and we can see his mind unconsciously looking ahead. Appears to be criticizing the current administration. He's really predicting what he's going to do. Our economy is badly weakened, a consequence of irresponsibility, failure to make hard choices. Homes have been lost, jobs shed, businesses shuttered. Think about what he did. He's come in and he's raised the debt. He seems unconcerned about it. He has had a wasteful stimulus program. He's raised entitlements to record levels. The economy is on the brink. All of these things of irresponsibility, economy badly weakened. He's made it worse. And he then goes on and talks about, in his inauguration speech, creating a expensive, shockingly expensive health care plan. That's what he's done. Obamacare is going to be much more expensive than he presented and that he initially told us. It's going to be off the charts. We go on and look at his treatment of the business community, how he sabotaged it with over-regulations, favoring excessive favoring of environmentalism, how he's prevented and damaged our energy policies, preventing drilling in the Gulf, preventing drilling for oil in Alaska, how he's prevented the development of the Keystone Pipeline, and how he's put all his money towards, or a lot of his money wastefully towards green energy. The book The Amateur talked about how foolish was Obama with that and how inept. Unconsciously, look at it again through the lens of his anger. Unconsciously, this is his way of doing something foolish, attacking America's economy. What appears to be amateurish can be, as therapists, what we call accidentally on purpose. See, unconsciously he's doing this, just as he's unconsciously confessing. And unconsciously he doesn't know how much anger he's in, though he does realize he deceives us at times. We come to national security, and we think of some comments there. What has he done on national security? So in his inauguration speech, each day brings further evidence that the way we use our energy strengthens our adversaries and threatens our planet. What has he done? His policies have clearly strengthened our enemies. If you weaken the economy, you weaken our national security. And go on. He's strengthened Russia. He initially stopped the anti-missile deal over protecting Eastern Europe. He gave them the START treaty and gave them concessions there. He's talking to the Russians about dealing with them in the future, and he's whispering to the Russians, and we should always pay attention. That was an unconscious message to America. His superintelligence was confessing, listen to me, I'm going to deceive America. But if we continue, what he's done to strengthen enemies, he's made China much stronger. Iran, he had a chance to stop Iran from nuclear power. He had a chance to speak up for the protesters, did none of that. And yet he enabled the protesters in the Middle East, particularly in Egypt, to really destabilize the Middle East. And what he's done is create a Muslim Brotherhood in power and a more threatening world. All of these are ways of strengthening our enemies. He goes on and just listen to his comments. He's asked this question about the future world, about his daughters. Are they living in a world that is in grave danger because of what we've done to its climate? Read what I've done and what I'm going to do to its climate. We can just see the events of Cairo recently. Has Obama raised the tension in the world? Has he created a riskier world? That was D'Souza's point, that's what's coming, but it's not just what's coming, it's what's there now, and he predicted it. And he goes on, we will work tirelessly to lessen the nuclear threat and roll back the specter of a warming planet. He suggests he's warming up. He's warming the planet up, he's angrier, and has he lessened the nuclear threat? No, he's alluding to it, and he's clearly enhanced the nuclear threat. Again, we look at it. We come back to his basic trauma, and the basic lens, understand Obama as he gave us his life equation, for that short step from powerlessness to violence and untrammeled fury to anger, to certainly unconscious anger. We come to another major foundation of America, our social structure, our values. What does Obama do as a great uniter? He divides us. We're talking about dividing us by race. He's certainly divided the races more since he was president. He's talked about class warfare and created class warfare in a way, trying to split the classes and instead of unite us. And he has created a false war on women, dividing women from among themselves, and again, further dividing America's society. We see him coming in with values. What does he do with values? He attacks values. He certainly favors a politically correct moral compass, leaving certainly America up in the air. We've got a moral compass problem. He does address that, but he has consciously favored a politically correct moral compass and divided America further. We also look at how Obama has divided us, again, the major foundation of values. And he talks about a nation cannot prosper long when it favors certain groups. And that's what he's done. He's favored clearly the unions, favored government unions, favored those who are dependent on the government. He's clearly favored numerous people, the environmentalists. He's demonstrated administration of favoritism. He's demonstrated an extreme favoritism of a politically correct moral compass, but he's increased the divide, and he has put that issue on the table. How do we solve our moral compass problem? But he's widened that divide. Obama, interestingly, predicted in his inauguration speech that he would fail. And he talked about a plan that was in the dark and all kinds of sneaky plans, and how if the economy didn't work and how these economic plans didn't work, then throw them out of office. He's really telling us that his plan was going to fail. You see, his role model was his father, who taught him, this is how you fail. Don't live according to the basic premises of nature, of human nature. His father, if you recall, was a self-sabotager, eventually killed people drunk driving, and eventually killed himself and self-sabotaged. Obama has predicted that he will fail. Now he has other ways that he wants to succeed, but in his inauguration speech, he did say his plans that we've seen unfold for society as he attacks the various pillars of our society will fail. It's not the end of his story, but that is the end of the destructive side of his story. Now, we think of D'Souza's film, 2016. Do we have 4 more years of this with a man who's more dangerous than D'Souza's recognized and hasn't said, as overtly as Obama has told us, his superintelligence has told us? What's going to happen? Things will just get worse if he remains in office. The military will be weakened, the economy will be weakened, our social structure will be more divided, and there will be more upheaval. It will be a dangerous world. That's what Obama has predicted. We wonder if America would ever come to the point where we would have to use the evidence that he's left on the table to ask him to prove that he belongs in office. Could America stand such a moment?